What's going on, everybody? Living to learn. Thanks for watching. Always a pleasure to do these videos. Again, I really I enjoy this. This is what I enjoy. I enjoy doing this, and I hope you enjoy. What you hear, what you watch. That's why I'm doing it, right? People are watching, people are listening, drawing from it, gaining from it. And we're going to talk about inspiration today. What inspires you, right? That's the title of my video. Who inspires you, right? What inspires you? Before I get into it, though, again, just a thanks to everyone who watches, everyone who has subscribed, everyone who has donated, everyone who has commented, shared, liked. Again, that doesn't go unseen. Definitely don't ever want to forget to thank those of you who have been tuning in and, keep me going. Again, like I think I say this on every video. If nobody was watching these videos, then I'd just be making them for myself. And I'm not into that, right? I don't want to watch myself. I don't want to listen to myself. But I do like to share the things that are on my mind, things that are on my heart, things that I feel have helped me, development, even certain things that I've come to a realization on that, I just try to share. Because if it's helped me, perhaps it could help someone else, right? And that's just what this channel is about. So anyway, Monday's, one of those days. It's another. I think that's another thing that's kind of funny about my channel is that I put my videos out on Monday, and it's like Monday has this reputation of being the most the day of the week that is most not looked forward to, right? And that's because most of us, we have weekends off, unless you're in sales like me, and then you don't have weekends off. So Monday's just Monday. But most of us have weekends off. And so getting back into it on Monday, it's kind of like, okay, my free time's over. I got to go to work, or I got a schedule, right? You got kids, you got to take them to school. And so it begins, right? And it's kind of funny, right? Because it's like, we're so blessed. Like we have so much to be thankful for. And I'm not speaking, obviously I can't speak for everyone, but just, living in this country and the luxuries and some of the things that have been afforded to us, we seem to forget sometimes. And so that I try to have a grateful attitude, just because not only is it healthier for my mindset, not only is it healthier for me to, to take on that attitude, not only is it going to be more beneficial, but it's true. I mean, I have a lot to be grateful for. That's just a fact. Is everything perfect? Is everything right? I don't think we could ever say that, right? That's not reality. Life is life. Things happen, whether we like it or not. And, what is that quote? And I can't think of who says it off the top of my head, but I've seen it so many times. In fact, I think I posted it on my Instagram not too long ago. Something about we can't control what happens. Basically, we can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond, right? So, for me, the best practice is try to get my mind in a place of gratitude, right? Some place where I'm grateful, and it just helps me. Helps my outlook on the day. I was actually listening to a podcast. Was it a podcast? No, it was just kind of what is it called? So there's this inspirational, I guess channel you would call it on Spotify, where they have a lot of different speeches from these, motivational speakers, people that are world renowned, and they're just sharing their wisdom. And I was listening to it yesterday on my way. I was driving out to my first appointment, and the guy was talking about how we have on average about 6,000 thoughts a day, and that most of those thoughts are negative. And the moral of his story was, we need to begin to practice how to train our thoughts to be positive, right? To work for us. And because you start to see, and you start to manifest, and see, words like that are kind of funny to some people. They're even kind of funny to me because it sounds almost like magical, but I think there's some truth to it. I don't know exactly how it works, but I think there's some truth to it, where when you are focused on certain things, you start to manifest and you start to materialize those things. So if it's all negative, then all you're bringing out is negativity. Then that's all you're going to see. But it was inspiring. And so I thought today, I was like, you know what? Who inspires us, right? Who inspires you? Let me ask you that question. Who inspires you? And how do they inspire you? Why are you inspired by them? Right? And feel free to comment. I mean, I'd love to have hear actual names, actual people. Even if I don't know them, I don't need to know them. You know them and you know that they inspire you. Right? Just like most of you, most of the people who are watching these videos, you've never met my grandfathers, and they were huge inspirations in my life. Right? My father, big inspiration. My mother, oh my goodness. My grandmothers, right? I mean, I've got, again, I said this before, I've got a pretty particular upbringing, and I've been very fortunate to have been raised the way that I was. But the people that inspire me are people that, when they're talking about things, or they're passing on information, when they're passing on their wisdom, they're doing it in a real way, right? They're doing it in a way where it's like, you can tell that where they're coming from, they've had to engage these things. They've had to deal with these things. And that's honestly, that's what motivates me to, present my content the way that I do. I want you to know that I'm actually working through these things in my life. Like, in reality, I have not arrived yet. David Goggins talks about reading books from experts, but he's like, it's great that you're an expert on this, but what are you doing now? Like, are you still wrestling with these things now? Is this still a day-to-day, thing that you're overcoming? How are you in the moment? Basically, like, what is it? What is your inspiration? What are these inspirational things that you're giving us? What are they doing for you in the moments that you need the inspiration? Right? It's like, it's one thing to get on here and talk about positive things and talk about thinking positive and having a great outlook and being grateful. But, what does that look like when, I'll give you an example for myself. I'm in sales, right? So what is all my advice, all my inspiration, all my content, what does it all mean when I'm, when I go 0 for 12, right? 12 appointments, no sales. And it's happened. It happens. You want to talk about being discouraged. you want to talk about feeling like, hey, I might be ready to quit. There's it's tough. It's tough, right? So what is all the things that I'm saying, all the things that I talk about on here, I'm dealing with those. I'm trying to apply those things to my life. I'm, regularly, actively. Right. So the people that inspire me are the people that, they have been through these similar situations. Some of them continue to have to, engage with these similar situations. They've been in circumstances where, I can relate to, and they say things that, it's like, okay, that makes sense. Right. That makes sense. That is something that lines up with what, with how I see it. And again, we're all different. Everyone takes inspiration differently. And this is why it's important for you as a person to develop to your highest potential, because you never know whose life you may affect by the way that you interpret the things that you see. Okay? Because I don't care how smart the next person is. I don't care how talented the next person is. I don't care how gifted the next person is. That's them. And no one can replace them, but no one can replace you either. There isn't another you. I've said that before. I think I made an entire video about that. There isn't another me. Whenever I'm feeling discouraged, whenever I feel like, man, maybe my channel is just never going to take off. Maybe it's just not going to materialize into anything significant. I look at my subscribers and I think, man, that's a group of people right there that feel like I have something to say. And if those are the people that I'm talking to, then so be it. So be it. Maybe something I'll say is going to initiate something in them. They'll begin to see things differently. And that's what it comes down to. Had I never read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, I don't know that I'd be where I'm at today. That's real. I'm just keeping it real. I'm keeping it 100 with you. I don't know that I'd be where I'm at today. That book and the ideas in that book changed me, changed my outlook. It changed the way I see things. And it's funny because that's what the book's about. It's about perspective. It's about my perception, right? It's about it's about realizing that, you know, you're not seeing things as they are. You're seeing things as you are. And the only way to adjust your view is to change yourself. Is to go in and adjust those things that are giving you a foggy, you know, they're kind of fogging your vision a little bit. You know, you're seeing blurry, and you can get into focus more if you will work on yourself, if you'll develop these things, these strengths, right? Not about being perfect, or, you know, I'm never going to be perfect. That's automatically that's being human is an automatic disqualification for being perfect. So, you know, that's an idea that, honestly, I mean, I think with maturity, that idea it's got to go, you know, despite what we see on social media, despite what we're being bombarded with daily, right? These images of perfection, these things that are sinking into our subconscious mind and making us feel a certain way about ourselves. You know, the people that inspire me are the people that, when they share, when they give advice, they're teaching me how to navigate around those things. They're teaching me how to circumvent those things, avoid those things, right? Because what do I gain by comparing myself? What do I gain by putting myself down for the way that I look, right? Putting myself down by comparing myself to someone else. We rob ourselves of our own individual likeness. We rob ourselves where there's so much to give. There's so much that we have. We are so rich. We are so wealthy. And I don't mean dollar amounts. I mean, that's great if you are. I'm trying to get there myself. Nothing wrong with money. Financial independence is great. Having money is great. Being wealthy, being in charge of your time is amazing. That's my goal. But you're wealthy already. We're already rich. You know, most of us we haven't garnered the courage. We haven't gained the courage to say, you know what, that I have something to give. I have something to give. And I know it's difficult. I know it's hard. It's not easy to get on here and put yourself out there like I am right now. So I get it. I know it's hard. Just because I'm on here doing videos doesn't mean that I don't second guess myself. Doesn't mean that I don't have insecurities. But I've decided that I have something to give. And I want you to do the same thing. And I hope that I'm inspiring you to do that. Because the people that inspire me are the people that get that. They bring that out of me. I listen to what they're saying. I watch what they're doing. And I think, I have something to do too. I have a goal as well. I have a mission as well, right? I have a purpose as well. Nothing like purpose. There's nothing like purpose. There's nothing like knowing that you are here for a reason. And so many people out there, they reject that. And they're not really rejecting that. They're rejecting themselves. Because they've been taught that. They've learned I'm not good enough. They've learned I don't meet that requirement. And I'm thinking, who taught you that? And the good news is, if you were taught that, you can unlearn that. If you'll notice my hashtags, I always include 3 hashtags: learn, unlearn, relearn. Okay, and that comes from a quote that I read years ago. That, again, just mind blowing. And it comes from a book that I haven't even read yet. The author's name is Alvin Toffler, and he says that the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who are unable to read and write. The illiterate of the 21st century will be those who are unable to learn, unlearn, and relearn. And that's very important. It's critical. Some of us need to unlearn a lot. There's a lot to learn. I'm living to learn, but I have to unlearn a lot. I got to make room. I've got to create space for the new stuff. Some of that old stuff, some of those old ideas, they're gone. They're out the door. And again, the people who inspire me are the people that show me through their wisdom, through what they're saying, through their words, through their actions. They direct me to go there and remove those things from my life that don't need to be there anymore, where I need to make space for something new. You know, we believe all these things. I'm set in my ways. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. That's just false. That's false. If you limit yourself, you'll be limited. But if you tell yourself and you train your thoughts to understand, I can learn new things, I can develop, I can get better, you will. We will. Those are the people that inspire me. The people that have guided me down that road to thinking the way that I think. And there's still more work to do. And there's still more to find out. But that's the beauty of it. That life is an adventure. It's a place to explore. It's a place to find things. Discover new things. There's still new things to be discovered. Unless, of course, you decide that you don't want to. No one can make you. No one can force you. I can't force you. But I can't unsee what I've seen. I can't go backward. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. And I hope this is helpful. I hope all my videos are helpful. I hope you go back and watch some of the old ones. And, you know, tell me how much I've improved, or if I haven't, you know, let me know. Say, hey, Josh, you need to step it up, man. But no, seriously, I appreciate you watching, and I hope it's helpful. Like I said, I love these videos. I love this channel. I love doing this. It's a privilege. It's a privilege. So thanks for watching, and talk to you next week.